we had a hard time coming up with names and just kept flipping through them. So many I can't even remember what they are now. And Joe was just like, "Hey, what about Degradation?" And
we formed, if you want to be technical, in 2000, October of 2000. I met Mike, the guitar player, through my guitar teacher.
I was taking guitar lessons, and Alex was taking lessons from the same guy, and the guy never showed up for my lesson. He was just totally showed up late for my lesson and showed up for Alex's, and I met him in the meantime, and we had a conjoined lesson, and the teacher just said, "Hey, you guys have a lot of the same music, and why don't you guys get together and jam?"
Dave Lombardo influenced me drum-wise a lot, the drummer for Slayer. But I got pretty much a wide range. I used to take drum lessons when I was younger, and my teacher was this black dude who really opened me up to jazz and R&B. So I get a lot of ideas and song structures from there. But, typical for any heavy metal, hard rock musician.
I started getting into, around when I was starting to play music, when I was starting to play bass in junior high, I started listening to a lot of AC/DC, then Kiss and Aerosmith and a lot of old rock bands and stuff. And then some friends introduced me to Ozzy Osbourne, Black Sabbath, and Judas Priest. And then Iron Maiden came into the picture. And then I remember my freshman year of high school, my girlfriend at the time got me Metallica's Saint Anger album. And we all know Saint Anger is their greatest album ever, And I'm like, I don't see what the big deal about Metallica is. And then my buddy's like, dude, fuck Saint Anger. Listen to Ride the Lightning, man. And then I put that in, and I'm like, whoa. My fucking mind was blown there. And then from then on, it just spiraled into Slayer, death metal, thrash metal and stuff. Just keeps going, and you're looking for the next heavier band and stuff, and you're meeting more musicians and other friends who know the stuff, and it's just great.
I get inspiration from anything. I love all sorts of music, from metal, classic rock, blues, jazz, big band music, swing music. I've been known to listen to polka every once in a while. Because if you think about it, a polka beat is pretty close to a thrash beat. Pretty close. Not as fast, and it's a little off, but it's really close. I get inspiration from anything. A cool-looking car, a cool movie, scores from a movie, like the movie 300. Huge, huge score in that. I love it. Big, epic scenes, and just the music and the orchestras and the voices behind it were huge. I bought it. You can ask anyone. I was obsessed with that movie. But anything and everything. Your shoes, his shoes, my shoes, this watch, whatever. If I like it, if it tickles my fancy, that's my phrase. If it tickles my fancy, I'll write a story about it, or I'll write a riff about it.
Let's do fucking Joe Walsh's Funk 49.
We would.
I don't mind doing that song.
One bourbon, one scotch, and one beer.
I don't think any of the younger kids are going to know Joe Walsh.
Who's that old guy? Hey, my dad listens to that on the loop.
Yeah.
I've heard that before.
The name of the new album is called Juggernaut. It's something that came up. We wrote the song first, and it's one of our favorite songs on the album. There's a discrepancy. Alex's girlfriend says that she came up with the title. Years ago. I thought that I came up with it, but it's probably something that I heard and completely forgot about and re-mentioned. But when we brought the word back up, it was unanimous that we were like, yeah, we had a couple ideas floating around, but that one definitely stood out amongst everything else.
It's bigger, badder. It's awesome. It's great. It's faster, but yet it's a smarter type of fast. We really took our time to write all the songs, and we used a lot of theory this time, and the old record we were still younger and it was more thrashy and just playing fast for the sake of playing fast, and this one, like I said, we really took our time and thought things through, but it's still fast and it's still aggressive, and everyone themselves has gotten a lot better with their instruments. My brother's gotten better at the drums. I learned how to sing a lot better. We got better bass playing, better guitar playing. Mike blows anyone away at soloing, and that combination right there automatically equals a better record.
Well, from the demo previously, it has a lot more dynamics to it. A lot more dynamics and a lot more, I don't know what the word to describe it is as, but you basically just got to listen to it.
We wanted a very thick, full sounding album, because our EP we felt was a little thin sounding, so we wanted big, bold guitars, lots of bass, lots of punch, and just nice and clean. And I feel that this album totally captures that.
I had long hair because it's not something you could do overnight. That's it takes commitment to be a metalhead, and if you see somebody walking down the street with long hair, they're a metalhead. Or a hippie.
But I love long hair. I love windmilling. I love headbanging. It's just another emotional outlet, and without it, I would feel like, why bother?
You feel more metal with long hair. You see a band up on stage windmilling their hair, banging their heads, and you see that hair flying all over the place. You can't help but get this big adrenaline rush and want to do the same thing. And being on stage, you see that whole front row all banging their heads and the hair flying everywhere, man. It gets you every time. Long hair is where it's at. You're not cool unless you have long hair. No offense to you.
Playing on stage, I described it to a friend of mine years ago. He asked me, hey man, I'm thinking about playing the drums, but I'm nervous. I don't know what it's like to play on stage. And I told him, here, flat out, it's better than sex. I don't care who you're having sex with. Playing on stage to a crowd that knows a few words or knows one song or one solo, even if it's a cover song, blows it away.
How does it feel being on stage? It's the greatest feeling in the world. The adrenaline rush you get from the crowd, the lights flashing along to the music, the loud noise, just the distortion from the guitars. It is the greatest feeling I've ever felt in my life. I love being on stage. I wish I could never come off stage, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
I mean, I've never had a threesome, but I would imagine it's got to be better than that too. Because if I'm playing to 20 people or 80,000 people and they know my lyrics and my songs, it's amazing.
Feels great to know that you could throw that energy to the crowd and they'll throw it back and just keep throwing it back and forth, and that they start singing out, the chorus and stuff, and it's a great feeling.
In 5 years, we better be done touring on the Juggernaut album, and we should be back in the studio under a major record label recording the next brutal album that's gonna kick the world's ass.
Hopefully touring, some good stories from around the world, and financially set for life. I don't want to work anymore, so yeah.
Don't work now.
I don't. Yeah, we all want to quit our jobs, so.
We want to dominate everything, and we want to do this till we drop. That's it.
Apocalyptic City.
Sure, that's a good warm-up.
Yeah, I only blazed through that solo. Sure. Let's get it on footage of me playing a shitty solo.